Today talking about the reissue, 50th anniversary reissue of Deep Purple's Machine Head, talking the new Alex Van Halen books, Motley Crue, and tons more coming up on Friday Night Vinyl. All right, 33ers, how the heck are you doing? Quick plug here for the Channel 33 RPM store. I'm tongue-tied, it's been a day. I have another new t-shirt design, which I'm wearing right now, Friday Night Vinyl. This character is named Freddy. We first saw Freddy in the Keep On Slaying t-shirt that came out last year, where he's trying to play a record player using a knife as a stylus. This latest t-shirt, he's out in the wild on a Friday night looking for music, and he may have had a couple too many swigs of whiskey there as well. Big shout out to Jason Sampson in Australia, who created the Freddy character, and big shout out to Adam from Pollution Lake Media here in Winnipeg, Canada, put the design together with the text and created this t-shirt, now available in the Channel 33 RPM store.
Channel 33 RPM.
All right, I want to talk about the 50th anniversary deluxe reissue of Deep Purple's Machine Head. I got this one for my 50th birthday. 51st birthday in October. I was curious about a couple of things. I really wanted to hear the Dweezil Zappa mix, and I wanted to hear that surround sound mix of Machine Head as well, and I gotta say I wasn't disappointed. Let me show you this first. Not super thick, but comes in this outer sleeve, and inside, let me move my stuff out of the way here, dear 33ers. Make sure I get everything that was in here. So it comes with a poster with all the lyrics, essentially a fold-out lyric sheet. Oh, this is on the back. This was on the information on the back of the album. I'll come back to that in a second. It comes with the booklet. How many pages is this booklet? It is, doesn't say how many pages it was, but it's a very nice booklet. A lot of information about the album, the recording sessions, right? There's the Rolling Stones mobile studio. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then, yeah, here is the music. So in terms of music, it comes with the LP. The LP is the Dweezil Zappa remix. It comes with 3 CDs. One of the CDs is, well, I'll just show you. Here. The CDs are all tucked in here. One is, on the first CD is the Dweezil Zappa remix of Machine Head, as well as the original mix remastered. Then you have 2 concerts, one from 71 and 72. The 72 concert sounds great, was previously reissued. 71 concert, not so great. It sounds like an audience recording. There's a lot of noodling and jamming on there. Then you have a Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray is the... on the Blu-ray, we have, make sure I get this right, we got the 2024 Atmos Remix, we have 1974 Quad Mix, and we have a couple other 5.1 mixes. So let me show you the record. It's on purple vinyl. Fittingly, of course, right? There you go. I was impressed with the Dweezil Zappa remix. I've heard perhaps some mixed reviews. I know a lot of people don't think classic albums should be tampered with. I love a lot of these remixes we're getting of classic albums, and my thing is, as long as the original album is available and you can still access the original mix, nothing wrong with the remixes. And this one's good. To my ears, it's a little more punchy, a little more lively sounding. The drums have more kick to them, and overall sounds much more lively. And that same mix was used for the Dolby Atmos mix. I listened to it on my home theater, folded down to 5.1, and It sounds killer, man. This is one of the best surround sound mixes of a classic album I've heard. It just sounds so musical, and it was just so well done. It's got the quad mix on it as well, and to me the quad mix just sounds a little, the 74 quad mix sounds a little too gimmicky, like they were trying too hard, but the surround mix, man, is so musical. Sounds fantastic. I've listened to it several times. I've actually done a huge deep dive into the Machine Head album, obviously listening to all this stuff, and totally worth it. I can't recommend this one highly enough. The 50th anniversary deluxe reissue of Deep Purple's Machine Head. Something else I have picked up is, and I just finished reading, is Alex Van Halen's book, Brothers. And I made some notes on it. I always make notes on this stuff. I've seen a lot of, again, mixed reactions and mixed reviews about this book, but I really dug it, man. A couple things surprised me. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I thought, I guess, being a book about his brother, I thought it'd be a really somber kind of book, a very reflective book, and it was reflective, but it was done in a really fun way. There's a lot of great stories about Eddie growing up all the way to becoming rock stars and touring the world, and it ends at 1984. What I was surprised about is that it's also, in many respects, a love letter to David Lee Roth. He talks about Dave a lot in this book. Alex speaks very highly of him. I'm paraphrasing here, but there's something in the book where Alex basically said the worst day of his life is the day Eddie died, and the second worst day of Alex's life is the day that David Lee Roth left Van Halen. And he went on to say that Van Halen was never the same without Dave. And I know a lot of Sammy Hagar fans are upset with Alex for some reason. I mean, the book doesn't really talk about the Sammy Hagar era at all. It mentions his name a couple of times. Once he says that this guy named Sammy Hagar opened up for us. He doesn't talk about the Sammy era at all, but I don't think he was really disrespectful of Sammy either. He just doesn't really go there. And I think the Van Halen brothers were kind of pissed off at Sammy because in Sammy's book, he dished a lot of dirt, particularly on Eddie and Eddie's substance use and whatnot. So I imagine there's a lot of animosity there. What's interesting too is if you subscribe to Spotify and you pay for Spotify, you can listen to the audiobook for free on Spotify, which I also did, and it's brilliant. Alex narrates the book himself, and he's really personable about it, and he laughs when he reads some of his own jokes and whatnot throughout the book, so the audiobook is definitely worth checking out. As is the hardcover, man. Brothers by Alex Van Halen. All right, let's open the mail. I got a package in the mail from Jim Hollister. He included his business card as well. And he was inspired to send this after a recent video I did where I talked about the Motley Crue debut album, Too Fast for Love. And he sent this note, so I'm not going to read it all, but it was really interesting. The crux of it is, years ago, he bought a brand new sealed copy of Motley Crue's Too Fast for Love, the second edition on leather records. And if anyone's a Motley Crue fan, you'll know how rare that one is. And the story is Motley Crue released their debut album on an independent label, essentially, and later it was re-released by Elektra and remixed. But the original sounds a lot different. So Jim acquired a copy of that, and then he went to this, he unsealed the record. He knew someone working at a high-end stereo shop and brought it over there, and he asked if he could use a Lynn Sondek LP12 turntable. I'm not familiar with that turntable, but Jim says in 1999 sold for $8,000. So he used that and he recorded it on a digital recorder. And in this letter, he says that makes this the best possible digital version ever made, in my opinion. So he took a high-end turntable, unsealed the record, first listen, he recorded it digitally, and he made copies of it. And that is what he shared with me. So here is the copy, the exact duplicate he made of that Motley Crue debut album, Too Fast for Love. He also sent me a couple of Motley Crue's, well, this is a copy of Motley Crue's first ever single, Stick to Your Guns, backed by Toast of the Town. Again, a CD version of it. He did a really good job. Really good job. Basically, it looks like a mini LP. And he also sent me a burned copy of this, the first Motley Crue song ever, Nobody Knows What It's Like to Be Lonely. You can find this one, pardon me, on YouTube as well. This was interesting. It was recorded in April 1981. It sounds jammy at times. Vince's voice sounds a little different, a little deeper than what it became, believe it or not. But mixed guitar tone, man, still sounds huge. Still sounds huge. Which just reinforced in my mind that Mick was really the heart and soul of Motley Crue, and that huge, huge guitar tone he had, which was even present on the first Motley Crue song ever recorded. Anyway, I really enjoyed listening to this. The labels and the insides are exact scans of that original album. I've heard this before. I think many of us Motley Crue fans have heard it, but it was cool. It's cool to have this. And again, it reminded me of how much I loved those first two Motley Crue albums, Too Fast for Love and Shout the Devil. I've lost a lot of respect for Motley in recent years, and particularly Nikki Sixx, for a variety of reasons, but those first two albums, Too Fast for Love and Shout the Devil, will always be super important to me. So Jim, thank you very much for sending me over this pristine, beautiful copy of that original album that you bought way back when. I dig this, man. I love it. Thank you very much. All right, one more thing I want to talk about. I got this record from a solo artist called Micah Sheveloff. The album is called Rockville, released in 2020. Micah? I don't want to butcher that, man. I'm horrible with names. Micah. He is an independent artist. He sent this to me himself along with a note. I won't read it all, but he says he's been making music since the age of 3. He's a singer-songwriter, and he recorded this album. He pressed it on 180-gram vinyl. It's called Rockville because that's the name of the street that he grew up on. So there's a letter from him. Online it says that Micah, again, I'm sorry, man, is a Boston-born pianist and singer-songwriter who has merged a classical music foundation with a unique feel for popular song. Now he lives in St. Petersburg, Florida. I listened to this a few times, made some notes. It says it's laid back. I've read reviews calling it contemporary pop, but that's misleading. I think it's not contemporary pop in the vein of Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, or Olivia Rodrigo. If I had to compare it to something, I would draw parallels maybe to Sting's early solo stuff, but he's also a crooner with definite pop sensibilities. I almost hear Michael Bublé at times, that kind of stuff. One of the tracks on, what was it called? Outer Space, almost has a bit of a country vibe to it. Anyway, interesting album, cool album from the singer-songwriter and piano man. So Micah, thank you very much for sending this over. 33ers, if you're interested in learning more about this, I'll leave a link below this video. All right, 33ers, let me know what you thought of the albums I showed in today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again on Sunday. Until then, keep on spinning.